O show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a 2024 Corolla LE, $19,975. Need credit? If you earn at least $500 a week, we want to say you're approved at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
house. Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV.
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slomin's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to get our biggest discount on a 2024 Acura. Take up to $10,000 off. $10,000 off at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 Acura dealer in the USA.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, one and all. Hope you all are doing well. Yes, ready to rock and roll. Wow, it is Tuesday. It's here, man. It's officially here. Football season is here. We did a show yesterday, so we labored yesterday for you. It was a shorter show than normal, but we did a show yesterday, so we were here for you just in case on your day off to give you a little bit of a fix. So we are ready to rock. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, we got Dolphins getting ready for the Jags. The FSU Seminoles are a bunch of Jags. We've got the University of Miami. I mean, they're getting ready for FAMU. It's not a big thing, but hey, listen, got to chalk up the record now, and whatever's on the schedule, just start piling on the victories. So we're all living we're all basking in the limelight of everything that went on, over the weekend with Cam and the boys. So that was fun. So now we get Tua and the boys this weekend. So we've got football. It is going, man. It is going. By the way, please smash the hell out of the like button. Very, 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 very important that you smash the hell out of the like button. Giovanni, thank you. You're already in dealing with a super chat, bro. Thank you so much. Says, this time of year, hearing your voice on the air talking football makes me think of our younger days when you were on the air with Mad Dog, Hank, and the gang at IOD. Football Friday drives homes were awesome. Just thank you. I appreciate you, sir. That was a long time ago, back in the IOD days. That's when I was like 7th in line to fill in. But that was those were the days. And then the early days, obviously with QAM and stuff, that was a lot of fun. So back when radio was actually, really good radio, not unfortunately the political crap that goes on nowadays, that they all have to, play soft. It's different time, my brother, different time, but it's great to have football. That's the good thing, and we're excited. This year we get to travel to 4 different places, to Seattle, to Buffalo, to Los Angeles, to Indianapolis. So really, really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, again, just a reminder, we will not be at walk-ons, okay? So we had a mix-up, and I think I talked about it yesterday, but I know yesterday was a holiday, so a lot of people were off, and maybe they didn't take the time to listen to the show. But unfortunately, some mix-up on their end or whatever, and so unfortunately, they had to back out of the deal. And so, it is what it is. Shit happens, so we will try to find another home if we can. I don't know if we'll be able to do it for this week. It'll be tough. It'll be really, 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 really tough. But we will try to make it happen for next Thursday and moving forward for the rest of the season. So we'll work on that. Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. Manny Navarro will stop by at 11. So it's perfect because Manny was writing a story yesterday for FSU. And FSU dropped to 0-2 yesterday. Wow. That was ugly, bro. I did not see that coming, to be quite honest. I did not see that one coming. I figured they would bounce back and at least win, not blow them out or anything, because you got ukulele. You're not going to be great with ukulele at quarterback. I'm sorry. It's just, that's not going to happen. But they lost 28 to, they got dominated by Boston College yesterday. Dominated, basically. That's the season is like over, done. Last week they were saying, well, it's a 12-team playoff, and if they can come back after this loss, they can still make the 12-team play. Well, they're done with the 12-team. They're done with the playoffs. They're not going to win the ACC. They're not good enough. They're not good enough. I mean, that was just the Castellanos kid is a better football player than ukulele. I got some beef here. Okay? I got beef here, and this goes for every quarterback in the history of time moving forward. This goes for every quarterback's coach in the history of time moving forward. This goes for every head coach in the history of time moving forward, because this guy here, okay, who's just a big mouth that talks sports. And yeah, I've been watching sports for half a century. Yeah, I've been talking sports and covering it for 34 years. Yes, I got a lot of experience. Let me explain something to all those idiots out there, okay? This is very important for DJ Ukulele, okay? Very important for him, very important for his offensive coaches, for his quarterback's coach, for his offensive coordinator, for his head coach, and for anybody else that wants to go out there, okay? Here's a tip that is a golden tip, not an Al Golden, but a golden tip, okay? I've told you about Bitcoin. That's like the best advice I have ever given you in my entire life is Bitcoin, and I'm not a financial advisor. Best advice I've ever given you in my 34 years of doing this. Here's my best advice for football coaches, football players, everywhere, because I seem to know more than the people at Florida State. Okay, are we all ready? Are you all prepared for this? Are you ready? Okay, when your fucking quarterback, okay, has no accuracy, okay, who the hell allows him to throw like Kent Takovi? Seriously. I'm watching these arm angles. Hey, asshole, you can't even throw straight over your head. First, learn how to throw straight this way. This way. Learn how to throw over people. Learn how to throw with touch. Learn how to throw with accuracy. Then you can try it this way. Because once you've mastered it this way, then you can do it. You know, in baseball, you hit it. You hit it, and then you start working opposite field. I know they don't do that anymore. I understand that, and bunting and all that, because you got to control the bat first. You got to control the arm first, asshole. Who the hell tells you that you can be Dan Quisenberry? What coach allows a quarterback to change arm angles when the guy can't throw straight normally? I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm going, where the hell are the fundamentals here? Who the hell coaches this idiot? This moron can't hit the side of a fucking ocean. And you got him throwing like arm angles. Yeah, I'm Dan Quisenberry. By the way, for you youngins out there, there are sidearm throwers in the history of baseball. I don't follow baseball enough anymore to know if we even have any more. So I just threw out some of the more famous ones that were sidearms. Mahomes does that because Mahomes can throw like this. So then he goes, but you're not Mahomes. And I don't care about FSU, but Jesus Christ, coach the goddamn kid up, man. I'm sitting there watching this. It's like, bro, who the hell do you think you are? You're a schmuck that can't throw straight, and you all of a sudden think you're Pat Mahomes. First, learn to throw one way. I can't teach you to pull. I can't teach you to hit opposite field until you learn how to control the bat first. Then when you know how to control the bat, then I can teach you how to do the other things with the bat and the positioning you got to take and bunting and all that kind of shit. It's the same thing. First, you got to learn how to hit the golf ball the normal way before you start popping it up on your stick, and whack, like, Tiger does in that commercial. I think first you got to learn how to just hit it when it's just sitting there. DJ Ukulele, my brother, you suck. You're freaking horrible, bro. And you know why you're horrible? Because you're a lazy-ass football player. First, learn how to throw the football the right way, which will never happen anyway because it's not in your DNA. But don't bother throwing any other way because you can't throw it right the first way, you dumbass. Holy shit. I've never seen more stupidity on a football field than I watched last night. My God, that is terrible coaching. Everyone should be fired on the offensive side of the football. Every single person should be fired. And that kid should be benched forever. Holy crap. What a dumbass. Man. Whew. I even think Dan Quisenberry was a submarine pitcher. I mean, it just whatever, bro. It's just crazy, dude. I'm watching that and it's like, bro, who do you think you are? You suck, dude. And all of a sudden you think you can throw different arm angles? I'm like, and he continues to do it. And they continue to let him do it. And they didn't figure it out. Like, yo, throw only one way. But once you've mastered that, then you can learn. Which, that way he'll never master any of the other ones because he can't master one. I don't understand that. Whatever happened to stages so you grow properly? That way you can develop properly. And that's DJ Ukulele is a perfect example of a player that fails and coaches that fail him. That's exactly what that is. My God. It was insulting to watch what was going on. Insulting to coaching, to real coaching. Because a real coach does not allow that guy to play that way. Now, in fact, I would tell him, I need you to throw over the shoulder every single pass. Any sidearm throws you make, you're running the stadium every time you throw it once. That's what I would tell Ukulele. You throw it sidearm one time, you're running the entire stairs of the stadium at Doak. You do it twice, you're running the stadium twice. Oh, coach, I won't be able to play. I don't give a shit. That's your problem, not mine. I told you not to do it. It's not like he's that important anyways. Look at the results. But that's your results because look how you allow him to play. You know, wow. King size stupidity right there in Tallahassee. King size stupidity. That's what that is. Big old DJ is watching Cam Ward. Nah, he ain't no Cam Ward. He's that. I saw DJ before he was there, and he wasn't anything before that. It's just I'm watching him, and he thinks he's something, and maybe that's because you blew so much smoke up his ass when he was at Clemson right from the get-go, and he failed. This is what you get. But it is just wow, dude. Yeah. JJ says, I handicapped the Canes versus Florida game to a T. I had them scoring 41 points. There you go. Awesome. I hope you made a lot of money. If you didn't make a lot of money, then really it doesn't mean shit. Giovanni, the combination of Ukulele at quarterback I've seen last week versus Georgia Tech and the defense not stopping the run. Told my friends, my FSU friends, they were toast. Yeah, they're toast. They're toast, all right. Big O, can you believe they had him as a 5-star? Yeah, I mean, that's and maybe that's where it's at. Cam Ward but Cam Ward's got accuracy. I talked about this in the postgame show. Cam Ward is a quarterback who has athleticism. He's not an athlete trying to play quarterback. Ukulele is an athlete trying to play quarterback. Lamar Jackson is an athlete trying to play quarterback. Josh Allen is an athlete trying to play quarterback. Certain guys, they're making that adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys that need their legs in order to be effective quarterbacks, then they're athletes. Real quarterbacks can make a living from the pocket the entire game for weeks. And if they need to run, then they can run. You know, that's how you're supposed to do it. But if you need your legs in order to be effective, then that tells me you may not be as accurate as you need to be with your arm. And that's what happens usually in most of these cases. 90-something% of these cases. These guys, whether you're Hurts, whether you're Lamar Jackson, whether you're Josh Allen, you're going to spray the ball. You can't consistently be accurate from the pocket. It's not in your DNA. Cam Ward runs last resort. That's what I like. You can tell by watching him. He is all about making the play from behind the line of scrimmage. That's what I like about Shedeur Sanders. Sure, he could run a few yards if he wants to, but he's going to scramble back there to make a throw. And why? Because Shedeur Sanders is not an athlete playing quarterback. He's a quarterback that has some athleticism to him. That's the difference. There's a difference. Shedeur Sanders can make a living, can make a living from the pocket. He doesn't need his legs in order to win. So Cam Ward can do the same thing. That's what I like about Cam Ward. He's a real quarterback, man. DJ is a great example of how the transfer portal can be bad. He doesn't stick with one coaching staff to get the fundamentals down. This can happen a lot to players that don't listen. And to me, here's my problem with that, Gordon. It's that I would have coached that out of him already. And I would have told him, you must throw this way only. There's no more sidearms. There's none of that. I need you to master this first. When you can consistently, still have that cold. The remnants of it. When you can consistently hit a target and be on point and lead receivers and lead them open and have ball placement skills and all that, then we can start to work on another angle. But they don't coach it. And it's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. I'll be honest, people in all aspects of life who think they're all that without doing anything really get under my skin. Well, that's that kid right there. That kid's been handed everything, and he continues to screw it up wherever he goes. And you can watch it. It's just that guy just doesn't know how to play the position. And I'm a nobody, and I see it. So I don't get what the coaches are doing. I don't even get why they even when they got him, I was like, really? It's not a guy you fear, bro. You know. Big O, what are your thoughts on? Oh, well, I think I just told you he's the shit. Shedeur Sanders is the shit. That kid can pass the ball, bro. Love it. Love Shedeur Sanders. Tough, smart, accurate. Ball placement, anticipatory skills. I freaking love it. I loved him last year. Loved him the year before at Jackson State. Loved him. Ever since I've been seeing that kid play, he can sling it, dude. He can sling it. Love him. Anybody that gets him next year is going to get themselves a starting quarterback in the NFL. You know, barring, of course, injuries, which could derail anybody's career. But that kid has got it, man. He definitely, Dion did an awesome job with him. Awesome job with him. Let's see. You're too bullish on Jackson and Allen. Gotta put respect on their name. Yeah, they put up stats, bro. So what? Doesn't matter to me. None of that shit means anything to me. When they run into a real quarterback and they get into a passing contest, they all, especially Jackson, he really fails. Allen, I give him credit. He does have a clutch gene to him at times. He has moments where he'll hit that throw, but he still sails a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? But he does have more moments passing than Lamar does. Lamar's more about legs than anything else. That's why they brought in Henry, and that's why they kind of changed their philosophy. They're not going to have him sitting back there. That's why he lost weight, all that. He's going to go back to what he was. Run. He tried to turn into more of a pocket passer, and they figured out that he can't be that. You know why? Because he's not accurate enough. So, listen, man, this is a tired subject. If you're new here to that, this is an old-ass subject on this one. I'm not a believer of inaccurate quarterbacks. There's a reason why none of them have any titles. None of them. No Randall Cunningham, no Michael Vick, no Josh Allen, no Lamar Jackson. None of them have titles. None of them. The guys that can make a living from the pocket, like Pat Mahomes, like Tom Brady, those are the people that are going to win the titles more often than not. Will a runner win a title? One day. One day. You know, I mean, if you have enough of them in the league, eventually one of them is going to win. But I'll take I'll always take a pocket passer over the guy that has to run in order to be a good quarterback. Remember, that's the definition of it. He has to run in order to be a good quarterback. If he doesn't run, he really can't win. What a concept. It's kind of tough. Let's see. Did I see any similarities of Ward pocket movement to Marino? No, dude, it's not even close. It's completely different quarterbacks. No, let's do something. Let's do something for the rest of time. Don't compare anybody to Marino. Just, I don't know if you're old enough. Why? I'm not sure if you're old enough. Don't ever compare anybody to Marino. Okay? No one. There's no one in the league right now that passes like Marino. No one. In any league. All right? He came and went. It was like a comet. You know what I'm saying? It was just a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And if you didn't experience it, trust me, it doesn't exist again. It's just one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. You'll never have another Dan Marino again. Okay? I've never seen anyone with an arm like that, with accuracy and ball placement and balls that just, I've just never seen it. Okay? Never seen it. And I will never see it again. And Cam Ward and Tua Tagovailoa and Josh Allen and whoever you want to name, none of them will ever be Marino. Okay? Let me just put it all out there. None of them will ever be that guy. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Okay? There's only one freak like that. Just one. Let's just leave it there. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat. WNBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Ira, yeah, I can actually in this segment actually ask you stuff for WNBA because actually the league is hot, man. There's a lot of stuff. Are you watching it as much as some other folks like this idiot here?
You know what? I am, and I am for the reason of the whole Caitlin Clark dynamic made it so much more mainstream. And what's great about that is it opened our eyes to players like Asia Wilson and other players in the league we might have previously ignored. And obviously there's a South Florida connection. I'll let you get into that or not. But obviously there's a higher degree of interest in the league. So, I'm not going to be sexist about it. I'm not going to sit there and compare it to NBA basketball. I've always said this. It's a different game played on a different level and a different way. But you know what? This league has done so much for themselves. And it just shows you, Big O, the power of promotion, of getting something out there, of building a quality base and going from there. So, yeah, I have. And again, the problem is they've made it a summer sport when it tends to get lost. I think for the major breakthrough, it would have to run concurrently with the NBA, and I don't think anything is wrong with that. I just think it tends to get lost too much in the summer months.
No, yeah, exactly. But I guess you got to build the brand, and then once it, example, here we go. I'm a pop culture guy.
Okay.
90210 started in the summer. And then it became a phenomenon, and they moved it to the fall. And then the rest is history from there. But 90210 started in the summer. So now you make it a phenomenon, and maybe you try to make a creative way of weaving it inside, the NBA season, where maybe the NBA can accommodate a WNBA night instead of an off.
You know what? Or even a doubleheader. A doubleheader where the some of the best teams are on the West Coast. Obviously, Las Vegas Aces stand out. So you play a great Celtics 76ers game on ESPN at 7:30, and then you go to the WNBA game at 10 o'clock. That's how you get eyeballs on your products. You commingle that. There obviously is an NBA ownership stake there anyway. They're part of a new television deal. They're getting more money injected. So, yeah, I would like to see a little bit more of that because here's the problem. I'm going to be honest about this. And I know it about the Heat also. Every other sport gets lost in the NFL universe. It just does. It's why golf completed its major championship this weekend. It knows to get the hell out of the way. It's why the U.S. Open gets out of the way, and basically the tennis season is over. And then all of a sudden, you can have the WNBA playoffs, and God bless them on ABC and ESPN. But you're watching NFL on Fox and CBS and NBC on Sunday. You're watching college football now on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so the whole world gets lost. I was kidding with Anthony Chang in the Miami Herald how
that's why they kind of made Tuesday a thing for the WNBA, by the way. That's why they've kind of made Tuesday a thing.
And you have to give them their own day at it because there's very few days now the NFL doesn't play anymore. Basically you have Tuesday, Wednesday, most of the time Friday also, and you avoid that. But even with the Heat, with the way the Canes are looking in their season setting up, the way the Dolphins are looking, even the Heat's going to step back. Even the Panthers will also. I think at some point, and you've done this on your show also, you realize the incredible football interest. Football is king. Football is at least half the sports universe. Work your way around that product. Try to find a way to fit in. So golf goes away, tennis goes away. Even Pat Riley told us this. He used to sit down after the Dolphins were eliminated in the season, which often was very early, and he'd say, now we understand the eyeballs are in us. Now we have to be a product in this town and take over and make their moment. So I think the WNBA is the same thing. I would like to see it as more of a winter sport because that's what basketball is. And I think that they lose so much during their playoffs when football starts and then, there's the WNBA playoffs also. So I do think there could be a need for a change like that. I agree.
Or what you do is you start the season earlier, which is right after football season, towards the end of the NBA season, where your playoffs will then ride right after the NBA playoffs. Maybe that's what you do. That way you kind of piggyback off of the NBA, You're you're not in the summertime, but you do get at least your championship games right in the early part of the summer, and you get it out.
And here's the problem. And again, we'll take people more inside the WNBA on our Acura Pembroke Pines segment in the dead of NBA offseason is this. Overseas leagues pay far more than the WNBA, and they are the winter-based sports. There was a reason Brittany Griner was flying to play in the WNBA offseason. That's where the money is. There have been players over the years who don't play WNBA because they want the money there also. Look, this is the thing. I don't say that the NBA has to subsidize the WNBA. Everyone should make it on their own. But if they can inject more money into the WNBA player pool and make it easier for so many of these players not to go overseas, then you can move your season. Right now, as soon as WNBA season is over, a good portion of those players move on to international. So make it your winter sport. Make it your game here. Make it your scheduling, like you said. And then you wind up not competing with the NFL. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I mean, listen, I was watching the game on Sunday with Dallas and Indiana, and the Arike Ogubuale girl was like 9 of 16 from 3-point range.
Right.
I mean, that's impressive, man. Now, by the way, what the hell is going on with Cheryl Swoops? Like, she's like caught in the middle of some controversy because publicly when she's on doing her thing, she doesn't credit Caitlyn. And I know she says behind the scenes, she put out her tweets or texts that she sent to Caitlyn and all that kind of stuff. But her broadcasting is completely not giving her the credit. And hell, apparently they pulled her from a broadcast and put Lieberman Klein in there to replace her because the network was worried of her being a little biased. What's up with Cheryl Swoops? I don't get that.
What? It's interesting. And that's why you have to tune in every week on our Acura Pembroke Pines report, because we addressed this earlier this offseason, and we used the comparison of Pistol Pete Maravich coming into the NBA, getting the first $1 million contract, and so many of the veterans at the time saying he doesn't deserve it, you have to earn it. Caitlin Clark comes off that amazing season at Iowa. Boom, she's in the league right away. There's the old school, and you see this in every sport, Big O, the old school of you have to earn it, it shouldn't be gifted. And that's what I was talking about at the top of our segment here today is appreciate what she's done for your league. Yes, Cheryl Swoops, when you played for the Houston Comets, the money was not nearly the same as it is now. Appreciate your breakthrough players. Appreciate your Pistol Pete. Appreciate your Larry Bird Magic Johnson. Appreciate your Michael Jordan. Appreciate your LeBron James. Yes, you could even say LeBron James. Remember the cover of Sports Illustrated, the chosen one coming out of high school. Did he earn his way in or not? No. Appreciate what they are doing for your sport to make your sport more mainstream and more enjoyable. You know what? It's interesting because as I've done the Heat for so many years now, I've always tried to be that not get off my lawn old guy, not appreciating the nuances of the new game, appreciating sports evolve, games evolve, the money evolves. So yes, there are some people who might say, hey, today's top players aren't the same as what they are. We just heard this a little bit also when Anthony Edwards said he didn't think Michael Jordan was that great. And I was like, okay, calm down a little. Poor Paul George refuted him over the weekend. The game evolves, and there are great players. I saw a list of the great NBA scorers, shot creators over the years, and they left off Wilt Chamberlain. Well, Wilt Chamberlain might have been over 7 feet and might have been bigger than anyone else. But what the man did with his athleticism, leading the league in assists one year.
Come on.
Leading him in rebounds, you have to appreciate the previous players in the game, and you still can appreciate today's game. Don't be that person. Don't be, back in my day, the game was played the right way. Appreciate
But if you're smart, Wilt and Jim Brown and Walter Payton, these are guys that could play in any era, actually. Right. No, it doesn't matter how athletic they are now, and they are. I'm not going to deny that. But there are certain freaks, and Wilt Chamberlain is one of those freaks that could hang in any era and dominate in any era.
And that's why in every sport, sports evolve. Yes, there are 3-point shots now. Yes, you can't defend the way that you were able to in previous games. Flagrant fouls. You and I used to see wars on the court. You know, the Oakleys and the way it was played now. Now everyone's a flagrant foul and you reject it. Okay, sports evolve, and that is fine also. and you have to evolve with it. My God, they have a pitch clock in baseball now. Every sport is going to evolve. I mean, let's face it.
This sport has more space to. The NBA sport doesn't have as much space to grow. The athletes are growing in themselves, but the WNBA, the sport itself of women's basketball, has way more room to grow because they're growing taller, they're becoming more athletic, they're shooting from farther distances, and that's why I think mainstream is getting more involved because, like I told you, she just shot 9 of 16 from three-point range. They're doing things that most men can't do. And once you start doing stuff like that, you start getting the chauvinistic guys, the sexist guys to say, hey, wait a minute, hold on a second. That's pretty damn good, bro. I mean, she's shooting from 35 feet away and making it from the logo. I mean, give the girl some credit. And I think there's a little bit of that now, that they're doing things that the dudes do. And that, I hate to be kind of, raw like this about it, but I have to, for those kind of fans, I kind of think that that's how they're getting brought in. That like, yo, wait a minute. They're doing athletically some things that they had never done ever before.
And you see that with Asia Wilson. I want to call her one of the best big men of all time, big persons of all time. But what she's doing for a big person in sports is what top NBA players do. She also hits the midi like Bam Adebayo, a little bit of a relationship there. She also can play that kind of post game also, so you do enjoy it. So again, move your sexism, move your racism with Caitlin Clark, take it all out of the equation, appreciate it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with more good sports to fill our days with.
Yep. Hey, Sean, do me a favor. Get me that cut with Bam that we played. I want to play it for Ira. All right, Ira. 2 questions for the Heat. Big questions. One coming up with Bam. But first, are we going to be dealing with this all year long? Report on Pro Basketball Talk is, if Jimmy Butler's a free agent at the end of the year, he's interested in the Brooklyn Nets. So, is this something that's going to be planted by the Jimmy Butler people all year long to kind of piss off the Heat and get them going?
Leverage.
Leverage, or there's some meat on the bone here or something?
You know what? The problem is there's no meat on the bone in August and early September in the NBA, so people try to find some meat on the bone. So in this case, they came up with some grizzle. I addressed this in my Ask Ira column today at sunsentinel.com. Let me get this straight. The Brooklyn Nets have sold off every one of their star players in recent years. Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant. They've moved away from that. This offseason, they've given up on our older players also. Sean Marks is going to start all over again. And they're going to start all over again with a player who's going to be 37 years old at the start of the season a year from now. Who the hell is building like that? But there is one NBA team that will have in excess of $40 million in free agency money this coming off season. This is the equivalent of what the Philadelphia 76ers had this offseason when they added Paul George. So you look, yes, I can connect the dots. I can connect A, B, and C. But when you get over to X, Y, and Z, it makes no sense. But if I'm an agent for Jimmy Butler, if I'm trying to say, hey, we have leverage here, Miami Heat. If you don't give us a new deal by the trading deadline, we can go to Brooklyn for their $40+ million. We can get Jimmy in a big market. He could sell coffee on Fifth Avenue there with his big face brand. That's what you're doing. You know what, Big O? And this has been an ongoing topic on our Acura Pembroke Pines report. Every time I talk to you, you say the same thing. If Jimmy's going to threaten to go, you do this. If people are watching on YouTube now, bye-bye. And you say thank you for your 6 years of service. We enjoyed the 3 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. We will raise your number one day to the rafters. We'll consider you a top 5 all-time Miami Heat player, but we're moving on. I don't think those threats work. And this is a point that Orlando Alzagari has made the entire offseason and honestly all of last season. You can't let Jimmy Butler try to leverage you. You have a franchise to look out for. If there's an amicable deal at amicable money that doesn't destroy your salary cap forward, hey, maybe you consider it. But for Jimmy Butler, matter of fact, I would even say this. I'm going to take this a step further. If Jimmy Butler is your top paid player beyond this season, then I think your salary structure starts to turn upside down because you have Bam Adebayo. excuse me, you have Tyler Hero, you have younger players. You have to subtly make that shift. You can't keep riding 35, 36, 37. So leverage me all you want. And I'm going to say, you know what? I think Delta flies nonstop to LaGuardia and to Brooklyn. So here's a first-class ticket. Thank you for your service, and we're moving on. At least that's the way I would approach it right now, Orlando. I see you're frozen on my screen. I don't know if you're frozen on your end there. But again, when you look at it right now and you look at the situation with Jimmy Butler, that's the way I would play it out. Is I would look at the Miami Heat right now and say, hey, we can move forward with what we have now. We can see if it works for Jimmy Butler, and then we can reset after the season when Jimmy has his player option. And again, like you and I have spoken about, we're not so sure if we're going to be looking at a situation where Jimmy doesn't opt in anyway. Because again, this is the perfect example. Sometimes you put something out there to try to make a statement, to try to make a case that, hey, we have other options. We can go out, we can get money elsewhere. But the reality is the money is so limited elsewhere that you can stare down a player like that. And you could say, you know what? The Nets were in the lottery this year. Maybe they wind up with the Cooper flag and they will be rebuilding and they'll want a veteran presence. But that seems unlikely also. I think there's a reasonable chance that without a breakout season, Orlando, you've mentioned this also, without a breakout season by Jimmy Butler, I could see Jimmy Butler saying, I might as well opt into that final year, that I'm going to be 36 years old in that season, that the money at $50 million plus might be as good as I make, that there's not going to be something out there, that would be a case of leaving almost as a case of spite as anything else when you're looking at the approach to how you take to an offseason there, to how you think you can get certain money or maybe not get certain money. So I think this Jimmy Butler thing still very much is in the wind. I could see Jimmy Butler obviously threatening to opt out. I could see the Miami Heat preparing to possibly move off Jimmy Butler, but I could also see a situation where there's a reason that Jimmy Butler got that option year in the final year of his contract, that he wanted to cover himself, that he wanted to take care of himself. So you can almost see from that standpoint what Jimmy Butler was doing. He was covering himself. He was saying, I'm going to explore other possibilities. I think more than even Big O, the Brooklyn Nets. You spoke about this in our previous Acura Pembroke Pines reports. You reach a point in midseason where the Heat say, I'm not giving you the leverage. There's a trading deadline. There are going to be 16 teams fighting for the playoffs now. There are going to be teams like the Lakers, like the Suns, that have to win right now. I think a trade is still a possibility. I think a key component of our Acura Pembroke Pines weekly Miami Heat report is going to be, is there a possible Jimmy Butler trade brewing? Is Jimmy Butler playing well enough to get traded? Is Jimmy Butler playing poorly enough that you want to trade him? This is our theme. We have our theme. We need a new logo. It'll be the Acura Pembroke Pines Jimmy Butler report.
Well, let's play chess because that's what you and I do on this segment. All right. So then if I'm Jimmy Butler, okay, I'm thinking I can have my cake and eat it too, dude. I can go and kick ass this year, set myself up, and by the trading deadline, I can have the Heat trade me to the team that might be closer to a championship.
Good point.
And I get my championship, they rent their player, and at the end of the year, I still go to Brooklyn, who has all the money. So I get my title, and I go get my money. So really, if you're Jimmy Butler, you can, you can be Tony Montana. The world is yours, baby. Because
I get that. Big O, I want to throw it back to you the other way, though, for a second. Let's look at the Nets, though. You're Sean Marks. You know him as a player from the Heat. You remember him as an executive with the Spurs. He's with the Nets. He's had some rough times. Yeah. Big O, create a case for me where it makes any sense for a Brooklyn Nets team dropping to the bottom to sign a 37-year-old player on a multi-year contract.
No,
I don't get it.
It's Paul Pierce and Garnett.
Garnett and Darren Williams. Yes.
Yeah, it's that all over again. But I'm just saying in his case, if he's just money chasing, he could actually chase the title midway through the season by getting traded to whatever team is a contender. And then if they don't sign him to a long-term deal, then and they maybe only wanted to rent him, then at the end of the year, he could go chase his money too at the same time. I'm just saying, I'm just putting myself in the Jimmy Butler side of things. If you're the Heat, and you've talked about this, throughout the offseason, that the key exit point for the Heat will be the trading deadline. And it'll be the best thing for the Heat because that gets you off the whole injury thing and the risk of him picking up the player option and all that, which then slows you down for another year of development for all the young guys, because you've got to turn this page and turn it over to the young guys and then find out what you have, with the guys.
And I agree. And that's why I think it's a sooner rather than later decision for all involved, for the Heat, for Jimmy Butler, for Jimmy Butler's management to decide, because there is that trading deadline. There is that. I want people to also keep one thing in mind. The Heat have stayed below the second luxury tax apron for a reason. If you stay below the second luxury tax apron, you can aggregate players. It is easier to make trades. Andy Ellisberg wants that functionality. He wants that viability. Why? Maybe for this very reason. So if he has to take Jimmy's salary plus another salary and get an expiring salary, he can go over the second apron by adding that 15th player at the start of the season. You lose that optionality. So there's a lot of dots to connect here. There are the dots Jimmy's people want you to connect, but there's also the dots the Heat have to connect. It's interesting. You work with the player, but you also have to take your own self-interest into mind also. So this will be a very interesting, originally we said 12 months until Jimmy hits the opt-out, but I agree with you, Big O. This can be more of a very interesting 6 months starting now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, last question. Bam Adebayo. Shandell Richardson was asking him a question about being the number one guy, and he gave an answer that the number one guy doesn't give. So, Sean Stanley, please bring it up, and let's play Shandell asking Bam about being a number one.
What if Eric Spoelstra came and said, "You're going to be our number one option. You're going to be the number one on the team"? How would you feel about that? Or does that matter at all?
Man, listen, the biggest thing to me is winning.
Okay.
So if he tell me, look, you got to be number one option, but I had on with the number one option. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I feel like being a number one option doesn't mean getting up the most shots.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you've had guys like Lou Will, who's a sixth man, who probably had more shot at him. Like, so for me, number one option just means I got to make sure everybody's in that right spot, right time. Checking foul count, just being aware of everything and not just worrying about scoring.
Okay.
Oh, Ira.
It's who he is. It's who
Number
he is.
One says, get the ball, get the hell out of the way.
Nope, not how he is. That's what he is on defense. On defense, he's give me the ball and let me guard the ball and show you how great a defender I am. That's not his mindset on offense. And Big O, you can talk about mindset until you turn blue. You are who you are. And if you've been raised to this point, remember, this is not Bam Adebayo at the start of a career. He was a first-round pick in 2017. We are talking 7 seasons in. Mindsets don't change. MJ came in as a scorer. LeBron came in as a scorer. Kobe came in as a scorer. AI came in as a scorer. But if you don't, and you're more Tim Duncan and David Robinson-like, you're a different kind of player. That's why they also had Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili.
No, but Tim Duncan could take over.
He could, but he could also defer to Manu, to Tony Parker, to the other players there. You have to know what you have in Bam Adebayo. He is an alpha defensively. He is a beta offensively, and his mindset tells you all you need to know.
Because with Duncan, you saw it at Wake Forest. Okay, so it didn't matter where he was at. He knew when he had to be the man, he would score, and he could score. And as Shaq gave him the best name ever, the big fundamental. That is definitely the greatest name ever for him, because that he is maybe fundamentally the most perfect center I have ever seen in my life. I don't know. I don't know if we could come up with another one that could be more. I mean, if you wanted to teach somebody how to play the position, just watch Tim Duncan, bro, because that's as clean as it gets, for that guy. But You know, it's just a reminder that, yeah, he's a fantastic player, but he just doesn't have the need to be the guy, really.
It's how he's wired, yeah, and you have to accept that.
All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
You know, I wrote a Sunday column about how we have to see what the Heat's goals are. We know the goals in town. The University of Miami Hurricanes become relevant. Dolphins win at least one playoff game. Marlins become something they weren't this season. And I put down what the Heat have to do is they have to take steps. They can't do this championship bust BS anymore. 1, regular season, they have to avoid the play-in. 2, they have to have players healthy enough for the playoffs, which is a balance of that in the regular season. And honestly, if you're asking me, Ira, what would be a good season for the Heat? I'd say win at least one playoff round. Because I want to see at least 2 rounds of playoff Jimmy, if he's still with the team, to know if he has it for a month of postseason play. Then we'll talk extension. Then we'll talk option year. Then we can move forward. So that's in the Sun Sentinel. That was in our Sunday paper. It's online right now. But I think realistic goals are the way the Heat have to go this coming season.
Yeah, I'm actually more excited about watching the young guys and see what they do next.
Player development. That's all part of it. I agree also.
If
Absolutely.
There's a guy that says, I'm the guy.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want. I'm excited about that. If Jaquez wants to say, I'm the guy. You know, Jovic has a little sumbitch in him too. You know, he's just young.
A little further behind the growth curve, only 21 years old. Khalil Ware, young. But yes, you cannot forsake those guys. They're part of your future. Totally agree.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And, of course, subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, have a fantastic week. We will catch up next week, my friend. Thank you.
We're getting closer. Thanks, Big O.
Yes, sir. There you go. Ira Winderman, Acura of Pembroke Pines. They've got it going on, folks. They are the #1 volume sales dealership here in the Southeast United States. And I've been telling you about the ZDX. You can get electrified, and you can also get it for 0.9% financing. I mean, you know, that's considering everything else going on with financing rates all over the place. If you could get 0.9% financing, that's actually pretty good. Go to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. They've got 2024 models still. They've got a few in there. They've got the 2025 models. They are now rolling in, so make sure you take advantage. But like I told you, the ZDX, man, right now, Loyalty and Conquest, $369 a month. All other approved leases, $479 a month, and 0.9% financing for 72 months. The 2024 RDX, $399, and the 2025 Integra. Have you seen the Integra? That thing is absolutely beautiful. $349 a month. The 2025s, they are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. And if you own or lease an Acura, man, you can get it serviced there with Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They do an amazing job at, of course, Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. What a nice dip, 57.67 right now for Bitcoin right now. You know, the way I look at it, because September, and I think I told you guys this yesterday, September normally is not a really nice month for Bitcoin. It could end up being a rare month that is good because we are having rate cuts. And remember, rate cuts are now coming to the ECB, Sweden, Mexico, Canada, China, Switzerland, England, and the United States. And remember, Bitcoin is worldwide. So I think there's still a chance that September could be a good month. Actually, October will be explosive, and November, because those are the election months, and forget about it. It's always explosive in an election year. But this could be a month where you go sideways or you dip a little bit. And look, for me, these 6 months have been glorious. Frustrating because, yeah, we all want it to pop, but glorious because this buys me time and buys you time to accumulate as much as you can. Not a financial advisor, But like I told you, my goal, your goal, all of us around the world should be to try to get to 20 to 25% of a Bitcoin. If you could do that or anything more than that, then you're gold, man. You are golden. You are setting yourself up or your family or your kids, like what I'm doing, trying to set my daughter up. I've lived most of my life. I mean, Jesus, It's really more about my daughter. So, but I'm telling you, and it's something that could really, really help out. So a dip, and obviously the dip comes because the markets are not doing well. The Dow is down 480 points, dude. S&P's down 84 points. The NASDAQ is down about a half a point. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So there we go. We thank Ira. We got Manny Navarro coming up. By the way, David Furones now is switched over to Thursdays and game day. Okay? Next week will be different. Next week we can talk to him on Friday instead. So we'll do a Tuesday, Friday with him for next week because we have a Thursday game. So we'll do it that way, or that might be the better way to do it because Thursday night will be late night and all that kind of stuff. We'll have Chris Perkins on, by the way, also on our post-game shows. So Chris Perkins and David Furones both joining us in post-game for the Dolphins. So we'll have some fun with him. So Furones will be on Thursdays normally and Sundays. Okay. Couple of other weeks we'll have different weeks where we'll have different days of the game, like next week, and then we'll adjust to all of that. All right. What about silver, Big O? I'm not a gold or silver guy. You know what I mean? It's a good investment, but I'm more of a Bitcoin guy. You can move Bitcoin around, dude. What are you gonna do? Carry around your gold and silver? What is this, the 1800s? Yeah. You gotta bite it, see if it's any good. How do you do that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. And anybody that has gold and they have it like on like the pieces of paper and say, yeah, no, I have gold somewhere over there holding it. I'm not big on that. I don't even know if you have your gold there. So it's one of those deals. So no, I'm not a gold or silver guy. I have moved on to modern ways. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go with the thing that you can move, whether it's $5 or 5 billion in seconds. And you can carry it from border to border, and all it is 12 names inside your head. And that's it. And you could just go pop up anywhere you want, and your digital gold is with you. So if you're going to go silver, then I'm going to tell you go Ethereum. That's how I would play the game, my brother. Okay? You want gold? I'll go Bitcoin. You want silver? I'll go Ethereum instead. I'm going to gain more. It's going to gain more, period. It's not even close. You're going to make more money, and it has way more utility. In fact, gold and silver have no utility whatsoever. They're just storage. That's it. And it's not even comfortable. It's not something you can carry around, and in a pinch, you got to leave, you got to move, whatever. It's, the other stuff just moves with you wherever you go. So I don't know. I look at it. I look at the world a little different. I'm not really the old guy that stays old. I kind of change with the times. Now, there are some things that are still better back in the day, but there are other things that are not. And gold and silver are not better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the things that I would look at, absolutely different. So that's why I'm not the guy that looks at that stuff. Plus, you can mine and find more gold and more silver every single day all over the world. And who knows?
if we get to the point where we're moving to other worlds, there might be much more gold in another world. You know what I'm saying? They park their asses in Mars, and all of a sudden they start, dialing up a whole bunch more. Where's the value going to go then? Down. So, that's kind of the way I look at it. Let's see. What else? Cam Ward is a pure passer. DJ reminds me of the fast kid in high school who tries to play QB. I can't wait to see this linebacker unit of Walker, Brooks, and Long. I got a feeling it might be a star unit. I like the defense for the Dolphins, and especially the secondary. I think the secondary is going to be an absolute key to them. All right, let's do it. Let's wrap up hour number 1. Hour number 2 is next. Let's talk some Canes, and we'll laugh at FSU. And I'm going to run my theory by Manny Navarro, because he probably didn't hear it to start the show. So I got to run my theory by him, because I know he's got to find some logic behind it, because what I saw last night had no logic. Hour number 2 in our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report next.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slomin Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slomin Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slomin Shield.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Right. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great. Oh, I mean, if you're Mario Cristobal this morning, I think you're dork dancing in your bathroom. You're kind of like just... The whole world, the whole college football world is going great for you right now, man. You got
yeah. Although Mario, he's not buying that shit after 1 week. He's just not. He's been at this way too long, bro. He's
you don't think every once in a while he has a moment of weakness where he's just sitting there looking in the mirror, dancing out, kind of doing the.
No, he did it on the sideline when he did that chop on his leg, right? That was a man releasing 2 years of frustration, all the shit he's had to deal with.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And cleaning out the roster and obviously the Georgia Tech fiasco for him was, my God, that must have been, he must have not slept for 3 days having to go through that embarrassment and all that shit. So, you can understand it. But let me run this by you here, because before we start talking about the U, let me talk about FSU yesterday.
Yes.
First of all, you play baseball, right?
Of course.
So this is how it went. I mean, this is how I was taught baseball, right? First, you play baseball, and you learn how to hit the ball. And now when you learn how to hit the ball, the coach goes to you, all right, now I'm going to teach you how to pull. I'm going to teach you how to hit opposite field. You got to learn how to stand. You got to make sure you got the right pitch on the outside so you can drive it to the opposite field. When you know how to control your bat, now I can teach you how to bunt, right? You can't do any of that other shit until you learn how to hit the ball first and foremost, until your hand-eye coordination is exceptional. Then I can ask you to start doing some other shit, right? Correct?
Of course. Correct.
Okay. All right. So in football, let me tell you something. Before you think you're fucking Dan Quisenberry or Ken Jacoby, okay? First, you learn how to throw over your head accurately on a consistent basis. So that way, you know how to control your arm. You have the accuracy. So now you can control it this way and all that. I'm watching DJ Ukulele and his coaches. Oh, well, he's not, and they're not, well, he's not trying the sidearm. Bro, the guy can't throw straight with a normal throw. First, teach him how to throw straight first. There's no way you learn how to become an accurate passer when you don't even know how to do it right the first way, the right way. Correct. Over your head, learn touch, learn how to throw, over somebody. Dude, learn how to play the game the right way first before you can become Pat Mahomes.
100%.
Wow, the stupidity is beyond belief watching that last night. Seriously, dude.
No, listen, and this is the thing, it's nothing new. Oh, like this guy coming into this season, and I put this stat in my preseason story about FSU. Completed 74% of his passes within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage. If you're a quarterback, you should be able to do that. But 51% beyond 10 yards. I mean, you're basically 50-50, and that's the way it feels every time he lets go of the ball. Sometimes lower than that, if we're being honest, because it just he really cannot throw outside of the hashes consistently. You look at his career numbers; they're terrible on the outside. He's not a NFL quarterback, and some guys aren't. Some guys aren't. No, and listen, he's barely a good college quarterback. But the one thing I would say FSU is doing to limit themselves is not using his body. The guy's 6'5", 250 pounds. He used to run. And you know what? He's not running now. And it's like, imagine Tim Tebow playing quarterback back in the day with the Gators and say, well, he's not going to run. He's never going to use his legs. Like, that's what you're seeing with FSU right now. It's the same type of concept. And to me, that's what blows me away about this. Mike Norvell and this coaching staff did a phenomenal job last year. They got the players they needed. They coached them up, put them in position to succeed. How you don't have this guy running the ball 10 to 15 to 20 times a game is just severely limiting your offense. And, he is what he is. DJU is what he is.
Yeah, he is absolutely terrible. And their season is absolutely done. By the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching. And when you visit our friends at Caneswear, use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off. And if you order online, by the way, over $99, you will get free shipping. So you can get Canes stuff, anything and everything practically with a Canes logo. And, of course, they got Inter Miami gear, Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, championship Panthers gear. Look at the hat I bought the other day. That thing is beautiful. Absolutely sweet. So you can get it there at Caneswear. So check it out and use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off. All right. I know it's kind of a bye week this week. In fact,
maybe a bye month.
Yeah, bye month. And with the injuries, with a couple of the injuries, that's the good thing, that you can buy these guys some time. You could get experience for the other guys, and you really shouldn't have an issue with the next 3 games anyways.
Yeah, and really, I mean, look, USF, they've got a really good quarterback. That's the one team that I'm interested to see how they actually do here in the non-conference, because he can run. Byron Brown is a very elusive, dangerous type running quarterback. But outside of that, this is the time to get a lot of young guys experience, because you're going to need them. And that's the thing I think people need to start thinking of now that we've expanded to the 12-team playoff, is that you're going from playing 12 to 13 games a season to 15 to 16 if you're really going to contend for a championship. So that's why recruiting is so important. Like, people would say, oh, it's just about the transfer portal now, right? It's just about, no, you got to have both, dude. You got to be able to get guys out of the portal, and then behind them, you got to be able to develop recruits so that when those guys get hurt or those frontline players aren't healthy or whatever the case is, you can go to a freshman or a second-year guy that you've been developing, and they're ready to go. And so that's why Mario, behind the scenes, we were all worried, right? Like, hey, what's he doing, right? They need a quarterback. They haven't recruited a good quarterback. They needed to to build more depth. They needed more playmakers at receiver. It was all building towards this year. It was all building towards year 3, where now you have your Francis Maui-Noahs and you have your Ruben Baines, and you got all these guys that you were highly touted high school recruits, and now they're grown men. They're not babies anymore. And so you have a solid foundation. And that's the difference right now between Miami and Florida State and Florida and even Clemson, when you look at it, right? When you compare the teams that Miami would compete against in the league and in their own state, Mario built it foundationally strong, dude, like offensive and defensive line. And that stuff carries week to week to week. And they've got the kind of depth that they need. And that's why Miami fans are ecstatic right now. And that's why the future is bright for this program.
Yeah, man. There's no doubt the future is incredibly bright. And Cam Ward, what I love about him is that he's a passer. He's a quarterback, and then he'll use his legs if he has to. Right. It's not like DJ or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or whatever, that in order for them to be effective quarterbacks, they have to use their legs. It's part of their arsenal. They can't just sit there and win from the pocket. Cam can win from the pocket if he feels like it. But if he needs to use his legs, he'll use it to buy time or get you a couple yards. But I love the fact that this guy is a pure passer, bro. Accurate,
and the one thing that Mark Richt was on the ACC post-game show, and Mark Richt's coached a lot of great quarterbacks, obviously, over the years, Georgia and Florida State and Miami. And the one thing he said was that Cam Ward reminds him a lot of Charlie Ward. And if you remember Charlie Ward back in the day, who won the Heisman, Charlie didn't have to run for a bunch of yards, but he knew that he could get away from anybody. And that's the kind of the way when you watch Cam, that's what he reminds me of too. A guy that just has the kind of elusiveness needed in today's modern game, with the way blitzes come at you from all angles, to sidestep it, to buy time, and he always keeps his eyes downfield. He's not just taking off and running because he panics. He keeps his eyes down the field looking for receivers. And if he needs to, he'll take a nice little slide to the left, slide to the right, and go out of bounds, and he's not going to take a hit. So I think he is, without question, the best quarterback this program has had in a long time.
Yeah, there was that one play where he was getting rushed, and he was just going back, and then just threw it away.
Yep.
And he was just calmly going backwards, and I'm like, okay, this
he's is playing a different game, bro.
It's a different cat right here. That's all I needed to see right there. This is a different cat. He gets it. He doesn't get flustered at all. Yep. I mean, this is a.
It looks casual, dude. It looks casual, and he looks like he's kind of poking fun at the defense too. There was a highlight in the middle of the game, and I don't know if you saw this, but somebody sent this to me on social media, where you can see Cam yelling at one of Florida's defensive backs before he snaps the ball. And he's basically telling the guy on defense, this is where you're supposed to line up. He's telling the DB on the play, hey, you're out of position, dude. Move over here. And that just shows you the confidence that this dude plays with, where he knows what the defense is supposed to be. Like that's next level stuff, dude. That's like NFL type stuff. Where
the game's slow. The game is slow.
The game is so slow for him, right?
Slow for him. You can tell the way he plays the game. He's seeing everything that's going on, and then I don't like the throw across your body stuff. Right? He did it 3
It's dangerous. Yeah.
It's dangerous if you don't know what the hell you're doing. If you're DJ Ukulele, it's dangerous.
Right.
No, I'm totally serious.
I know you are.
But this kid can, if you're going to do it in a stupid fashion on a consistent basis, then it's not going to help you. He doesn't do it in a stupid fashion. They were all very makeable, actually. And he completed 2 of the 3, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the other one got picked off, and it was a ball that
It was tipped, right?
It was tipped, right? It was deflected. It was based. I don't know if it went off his receiver's hand, but certainly it was close enough where if it is a half yard over, it's probably completed. So it wasn't that dangerous.
It was his fault, and he knew it. That's what I liked about it. That I've seen the kids that are like, oh well, and they're like making excuses or whatever, and he was calm, cool, like, hey, that was on me. I got it, And then the next time he tried it. The next 2 times, there was no way it was going to get intercepted. So I kind of understanding what he's all about. And as long as I know you're accurate, I can let you try those kind of things. That's how I would be as a coach. If you're not accurate, I'm ripping your ass on the sidelines every time you try that. You know what I'm saying?
This is all because this kid came from nowhere. He was a 0-star recruit. Okay, 0 ego coming out of high school because nobody in the country wanted him. He ended up at Incarnate Word, and he knew that he had to prove himself. When he went to Washington State, he knew he had to prove himself. When he came to Miami, he said the same thing. I've got to prove myself. Guys that come from that mentality are going to put so much more focus than the guys who get patted on the shoulder and say, man, you're great. You're a 5-star. You're so talented. You're so this, you're so that. It's a different work ethic. It's a different mindset. And so that is what resonates for Cam Ward better than any other trait that he has in that locker room and with that team, because guys respect hard work. Oh, you've been around it your entire career. When you have a Cam Wake, right, who comes from the CFL, or one of these guys who they come from nowhere and they become one of the best, they're beloved because everybody's like, dude, like I can respect this dude because he made this himself.
Yeah, Zach Thomas did the same thing, coming from Texas Tech and a 5th rounder and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I know that they don't really give you guys as much injury information, but what do you know about Bain and all the other cats and their injuries?
Mario said publicly it was a soft tissue injury. I said this right after the game was over, and I put this on Twitter. To me, he's not going to play the next month. Like, you're not going to need him till Virginia Tech. So we will see where he is. I don't know the complete extent of the injury, how severe it really is. But the fact that he left right on that first series, played 3 snaps, and didn't come back tells you that it's serious enough that he didn't even want to push it, and the staff didn't want to push it. So coaches are always going to lie about the extent of injuries, just the way it is. Butch Davis made a living doing that here. It's in Miami for many years. Mario, was here with Butch. He's not going to tell us what the truth is. And the bottom line is, I think if Ruben Bain had a serious injury, the tone would be much different. So I expect him to come back. I think he will be back. I think same thing with Damari Brown. Damari Brown, he played with a groin injury all of last season. And people know, I don't think he had surgery for it in the offseason. It was just kind of just a healing thing. So it may be something that just sort of nags at him until he finally decides to have surgery. And then the other injury was to Rodriguez, the left guard, who started and split the reps with Matthew McCoy at left guard, which to me was the one surprise in terms of starters for the game. So, but Mario said he was walking on it. Again, this is the next 2-3 weeks. You're going to see a lot of young guys playing. It's the perfect time to heal up and make this a shorter season.
Okay. What's it called? Miles Deep out in Vegas. He's a big fan. He's asking if we're going to see Elijah Lofton more in the next game to get experience. Obviously,
absolutely.
Your team's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Elijah Lofton is not on the red shirt list for Miami. I think he is a plug and play. We need him. You saw him at the end of the game against Florida make a big catch and run where he had a bunch of dudes that he was carrying on his back. He is, to me, the third string power running back behind Mark Fletcher and Damian Martinez. If one of those two guys goes down, I could see Elijah Lofton slotting in as a power runner in the backfield in that way. And then I would say if something were to happen to Elijah Royal at tight end, Elijah Royal looked great on Saturday. If something were to happen to him, you would see Elijah Lofton elevated to sort of the de facto go-to tight end. So he's very valuable. Miami's not redshirting him. He will play. He will get lots of experience the next couple of weeks and be a weapon.
Right now, I know it's only 1 week, but brother, I mean, like the entire conference is there set for you to take it.
It really is. And, I don't want to jump too far ahead and be like, look, Miami's definitely 100% winning the conference. But on paper, they're the most talented team, the best looking team to this point. I'm not going to, just bury Jeff Braun because the guy came into Miami's house last year and beat them with an inferior roster. That Louisville roster, not as good as Miami's. And they beat Mario Cristobal in his house head to head. So you got to give Louisville respect. I think Georgia Tech, Brent Key has done a great job upgrading their offensive line. Their offensive line is legitimately good. Their quarterback is a solid college quarterback, Haynes King. I like Jamal Haynes in the backfield for them. They've got playmakers. So I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, Miami's running the table, because we've seen these guys disappoint us before. But, my expectation going forward is that they should win the remainder of their regular season games. They should, because to me, with Cam Ward healthy and the defensive line that they've got, they should beat everybody on their schedule until we get to the college football playoff, and then we'll see who they end up playing.
All right, good stuff. What do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, well, I wrote a column on every single team in the state this weekend. I had one on Florida, one on Miami, and then one on Florida State that came out this morning talking about Mike Norvell and the situation there. I'm going to have my oddly specific predictions coming out on Thursday. I'll have an ACC Power Rankings with Grace Rayner that comes out Friday, and I'm going to be recording another Wide Right podcast. I had one with Susan Miller-Degnan that I did yesterday that people can check out on YouTube, but there will be another one with.
How was the road trip?
It was fun. It was fun. We ended up staying. Where was it? Claremont. I got an Airbnb there, and we ended up having fun. Went out to dinner in Lakeland. Ate at my favorite steakhouse, Texas Cattle Company there in Lakeland, where I went for many, many years when I covered the state basketball and wrestling tournaments at the high school level, and just a great little place. And we had a good time at the games. You know, Susan's son Bernie, who's a doctor and lives in Orlando. He came to hang out with us and had dinner Friday night, and then was at the state. Him and his girlfriend, fiance, are both doctors. She worked till 7 a.m. the day of the game, got in the car with him, and drove to Gainesville to be there. So they had a great time, took a lot of pictures, and it was a fun experience, man.
Cool, man. It was good to see her back on the beat there.
She had a blast. She had a blast for sure.
That was good. In fact, Mario commented on something in the post-game press conference, right? I think he said something.
Yeah, he did. He was stunned to see her. He's like, are you really back? Like, do I need to prepare myself for this? Like,
yes.
So yeah, it was comical for sure.
That was good. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his exceptional work there at The Athletic, and subscribe to the All Wide podcast, right?
The wide right. We make fun of the Seminoles with the podcast.
The Seminoles. Wide right.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. So make sure you subscribe to that too. Manny, have a great week, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Good talking to you.
Thank you, sir. There you go. Manny Navarro with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Oh, man. What else do we have going on? By the way, Barry Jackson reported earlier this morning, Derek McClendon will be signed to the practice squad, the defensive end. So they add another one to the practice squad. Always active. Mike DeRocco is going to join us on Thursday to preview the Jags and the Dolphins. He's the Jags beat reporter for ESPN, been covering the Jags for many years now. I don't know how many years it is, but I've known Mike for a long time. I know Mike when he was on the Gators beat before he got on the Jaguars beat, and he's been on the Jaguars beat, I want to say about 10 years easily. So he does an excellent job. So we will talk to Mike on Thursday in the afternoon at 3:30, I believe. We'll get a preview. In fact, he'll join us at 3:30, and Furones will join us at 4 on Thursday. So we'll get a preview of that. We'll work on all of that for you throughout the week. And, of course, Thursday will be at Hialeah Park like we always are. What do we got here On the chat board, see, what do we have? Jay Gelfin reminds everybody to smash the like button, please. Smash it, and the like button too. Por favor. It's very important, man. Visiting our sponsors like Welton Rail and smashing the like button. Making donations. By the way, Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. You're a stud as always every week. Thank you. Making a donation to the show. I appreciate that. Sean appreciates it. We all appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Lisa Rose is excited for Sunday. Damn right. Hell of a start with the Thursday game right around the corner, too. Canes are number 9 in the AP poll. Nice, says Peaster 83. I like it. Brandon says FSU choking so bad and us beating Florida. Hadn't had a better opening season as a Canes fan. Yeah, in a long time. It's been a long time since we've had a weekend like this. What else do we have? Any Clemson fan would have told you DJ ain't worth it. I know. Any of us. So you don't need a Clemson fan. We watched them at Clemson. When they got him, I was like, okay, big deal. It's like, sure, dude. Let's see. The combination of ukulele at quarterback I seen last week versus Georgia Tech and the defense not stopping the run. Told my FSU friends they were toast. Cam Ward, as a kid, played shortstop in baseball growing up like Pat Mahomes. Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, and many other greats. Like O says, learn the basics and master it, then attempt to flash. Exactly. That's how we all grew up. First got to learn how to do it the right way, and then you can start to play off of that in anything that you do. I'm watching that, and I'm like, who the hell are you to be throwing sidearm, bro? You suck. Like, you're an embarrassment at the quarterback position. DJ Ukulele is an embarrassment as a quarterback. And to think you can just throw sidearm? Like, what the hell is that, dude? I just want someone who can actually win big games. I don't care if he can throw a really nice-looking ball or if he can win a chip. Only thing that matters. That's right. That's right. Now, Brandon, what is proven over and over again at the NFL level is that you win with the guy that can win from the pocket. That's, 99% of the time. I'm sure a running quarterback will eventually win a Super Bowl someday. If you keep adding them to the league, eventually one of them has to win because you're going to add less and less pocket passers. So, the mathematics tell you eventually one will. But if it's a pocket passer, the pocket passer will always beat the other guy. Always. He'll always be better. If he has the same team, even or whatever, he's always going to win. So you better make sure you can win from the pocket. That's got to be, for me, that's got to be the first test of any quarterback, at least in the NFL level. College is different. But in the NFL level, if my guy can't win from the pocket, then I already question whether you can win a Super Bowl with that person. Put it that way. Because it just doesn't really happen a lot in the NFL. In fact, it doesn't happen at all in the NFL. Let's see. Allen has no receivers now, will be exposed that no one can carry a team alone. It's a team sport. You need a great team. Allen's going to struggle this season. I agree with that, by the way, DJ Ozone. His receiving core has gone down. Now unless the FSU kid makes a transition right away and becomes a stud, that would help out a lot for him. But if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a long season. Ira always hits the ball out of the park. If these two guys had an effing podcast every day, they would be the best in the nation. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think when Ira and I get together to talk basketball and we talk Heat, we take it to another level that you don't get on any other show. And we kind of make you think about things that you didn't even think about. That's what I feel Ira and I usually do with our discussions with the Heat. We just don't talk the basic basketball stuff, but we kind of get into a lot of the deeper stuff that could be going on. And that's what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to either inform you, make you laugh, make you mad, make you think. The idea of doing this is to stir some kind of an emotion. You know what I'm saying? But not a false emotion. That's not what you want. You don't want to do it by doing it with lies and deceit and stuff. That's just not the way you want to do things. Let's see. Stretch 5 Bam says, if it comes to it, sign and trade to Houston for a Seguin package. I don't know, man, but Jimmy probably, if everything goes well for the Heat, he should be traded by the deadline. Would be perfect. Skylar Tipton says, Ira's such a pro. That's right. Yeah, he did a nice job when I dropped. And apologies for the drop. Luis Suarez said he retired from international play. Messi should do the same. That's probably coming. And it might happen this offseason where Messi says, hey, I'm kind of done with that already. And that's good for us because now Suarez gets to focus on just us, which is great. He's been fantastic, dude. Fantastic. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O, I'm almost 60, been a fan since 74. I got to see a Super Bowl before my time is up, please. I'm with you, Patrick. I want to see a Super Bowl too, man. Cam was locked into that tablet going into halftime. Yeah. No, I like the kid. No doubt. Let's see. The hyper on DJ was insane. They actually tried to bring him up as the next Trevor Lawrence for Clemson. Yeah, exactly. Aquavision is in the house. True Fin Fan says it's called fundamentals. You're 100% right, Big O. My greatest gift was throwing baseball or a football. I could throw it in any element over 3/4 of a sidearm. Tommy John injury killed all of that. Yeah, man. You got to be accurate first before you can start doing that. I used to throw sidearm. I normally pitched overhand, over shoulder, but I was accurate. Hell, a lot more than DJ ukulele, and so then I would F around with the sidearm because I'm old, man. I grew up with Kenta Covey and those kind of guys, So Dan Quisenberry, Kansas City Royals, man, come on, that's so we would try it, But again, first you gotta work. Come on, man. Come on. At what time does Josh Allen's physical play, challenging linebackers in DB and contact take a toll on his body? But David, he has to play that way. He has no choice. He's not good enough to live in the pocket. He's not accurate enough. He'll spray the ball. He'll have his moments. He'll get on a little roll. You know what I'm saying? And he'll hit a few and he'll have a game or two. You know what I mean? But he'll have these moments too where he'll screw things up. And that's because he has to run. It has to be part of his game. So Lamar Jackson's the same way. Lamar Jackson cannot make a living behind the line of scrimmage. He cannot. He has to run. If he doesn't run, he will not be a great quarterback. And that's the only way. And he'll never be. See, because Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen aren't great passers. Just like Jalen Hurts, not a great passer. They've got to run in order to be great at their position. Howdy, looking at Ward. I know it's only one game, but he reminds me of Steve McNair, RIP. Just a thought. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Although he doesn't have McNair's body. McNair had a body, bro. Cause he could, and man, Steve McNair was a tough son of a bitch. Holy crap. That guy played with some injuries and tough. One of the toughest football players ever, Steve McNair. That Netflix special, you should watch it. Let's see. Big O, always got to bring Lamar in. Yeah, he's a great example of athletes playing quarterback. Yeah. I will always use guys like Lamar and Michael Vick and Josh Allen and those kind of cats. I'm always going to use them as examples of athletes playing quarterback. Yep. Oh, I'm a Clemson alum, and it's crazy to see how bad DJ turned out to be. He wasn't just a 5-star. He was the number 1 player coming out of high school the year he came out. Shit is wild. Yeah, I mean, it happens. You get it wrong sometimes. They go to the next level, and they can't handle it. You know? I don't know, was McNair built like a linebacker or a defensive end? I think McNair was bigger than linebackers, man. It's just crazy. Big dude, man. Tough guy. Tough guy. That was one guy that if you didn't respect, and he was a pure passer. He ran, but only because he had to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he really wanted to make a play behind the line of scrimmage. He was definitely a passer, you know, and tough. Jesus. There were weeks where, like, how is this guy playing? And he was there, lined up for his team, and it was as impressive as it gets. By the way, just to give you a little update, Bitcoin is climbed a little bit. It's up to 57,820. It was in the 600 range, 57,600. Now it's at 50,800. So it moved up a little bit after that dip. So take advantage of it, folks. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the great Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. If you need custom printing and embroidery anywhere you are in the country, you can call them. Just all of that can be done by Zoom and email and all that kind of stuff, and it's shipped to you and all that. Or if you live close by, here in South Florida, 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery, uniforms, hats, shirts, whatever it is that you need, your school, whatever, a club, you're going on some kind of field trip and you all want to have the same t-shirt or whatever it takes, man. You know, you got a softball league and you got several teams. Check it out, man. 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. They do it all there, and they'll take care of you. 786-618-1443. Boston College defeated, dominated, kicked FSU's ass 28-13, dropping the Seminoles to 0-2. Thursday night, Ravens at the Chefs. The Chefs are favored by 3. The over and under is 46.5. Friday, it'll be Packers taking on the Eagles. And the Eagles, by the way, are favored by 2.5. Over and under is 48.5. Tonight, WNBA action. Storm and Sun. Sun favored by 2.5. The over and under is 160.5. And on Wednesday, the Sparks take on the Fever. Fever favored by 11.5. Over and under is 170.5. And also Trent Williams is getting closer to a contract now with the San Francisco 49ers. He has reported to camp and getting ready for week 1 of the NFL season. I don't know if it was close. I don't know. Has he signed it yet? Is it official yet, Sean? That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. I know they were close. So the agent told them, go ahead and report. We're close enough. I don't know if it's been signed or agreed and signed too, but I would imagine it's right around the corner. If he's reporting, Trent Williams ain't going to report if he doesn't have to. He doesn't give a shit. He will hold out, dude. And the Niners knew that. The Niners knew that he would wreck their season because he doesn't. You got to pay him. He doesn't care. He did it to Washington. And he held out. And he was a man of his word. And he was going to be a man of his word again. And he would hold out. And he knows that San Francisco needs him more than he needs San Francisco. Okay? Let's be honest now. Their entire season goes right down the tubes if they don't sign. And he knows that. And his agent knows that. When you talk about a player having a franchise by the proverbial balls, that is Trent Williams. He literally has San Francisco's nuts in his hands. And he can just squash them if he feels like it. Because if he holds out, there's no replacing him. They know it. He knows it. The agent knows it. Talk about leverage, dude. There are very few times in the NFL that a player can basically grab an entire franchise and bend them over backwards and say, you're going to do what I say, whether you like it or not. And that's exactly what he's doing to that franchise. Very few people in the history of time that have held out have maybe Emmitt Smith back in the day with Dallas, that they started, I believe, Sean, if I remember, he was holding out and they went 0-2. I believe that's how it went. They lost their first 2 games, and Jerry said, oh, shit, we better go pay Emmitt. And the rest is history. There aren't many of those situations. This is one of them. This is one of them, dude. Trent Williams owns the San Francisco 49ers. They are his bitch right now. They will do whatever he wants. Not only will they agree to a contract, you will have a barber there on Wednesday to cut my hair every third week. You're going to take my kids and my wife out on our day off on Tuesday. You're renting us a limousine and we're going out, whatever. He can add all kinds of shit. Oh, the owner's got a private jet. Yeah, I need to use that 3 times a year. And they'll give it to him. It's beautiful being Trent Williams. The entire organization depends on you. Literally. It's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. I would trade that FSU QB for 3 hot wings and a 40-ounce malt liquor. The problem is, JJ, who's giving you the wings and the beer for the guy? So that's a bad trade. I'm keeping the wings and the beer. That's just, I don't want anything to do with ukulele. Lenny says all he knows is that the Samoan sniper is going to have a great year. Our Finns are going to be exciting this coming season. Folks, put on your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. I like it. What else? Someone. What do we have? A troll alert? What's going on? What do we have? What's going on? Anyway, what do we have? Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go with some music before I talk anything else. All right. We go with birthdays today. Let's start off with the musicians. Jay McCaslin, Canadian musician. Jay Cone McCaslin, bassist for Sum 41. For you ska people out there, born on this date in 1980. Tom Milichevich, from 30 Seconds to Mars, the lead guitarist, born on this date in 1979. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Susanna Freitag with Propaganda. Most of you probably don't know the band Propaganda from back in the 80s. Let's see. Born in 57, by the way, for Suzanne. Let's see. Steve Jones, guitarist for the Sex Pistols, born in 1955 on this date. Donald Brewer, drummer for Grand Funk Railroad, born in 1948. Eric Bell, founding member and original guitarist of Thin Lizzy, born on this date in 1947. George Biondo from Steppenwolf, born in 1945. And Al Jardine, singer-songwriter who co-founded the Beach Boys, born in 1942. Those are musicians born on this date. We go with other famous folk born on this date. Let's see. Charlie Sheen is 59. Shaun White is 38. Red Foo is 49. Those guys had the one song and then the LMAFO, and they disappeared right off the map. Or maybe they had two songs, and then that's it. And they were done. Who else is celebrating birthdays today that is kind of famous? That's it. Anybody know what DJ Envy is? It says it there. I don't know who he is, but he's 47. Is that famous? All right, Sean, you got some wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, TJ Perkins turns 40, and Allie, she turns 37, and those are your birthdays for September 3rd. 2024.
All right. Let's go with music history on September 3rd. In 1965, a Rolling Stones show in Dublin, Ireland, ended in a riot when 30 fans rushed the stage. Mick Jagger was knocked to the floor while the rest of the band fled. In 2001, a free concert in LA meant to be a gift from System of a Down to their fans turned into a riot. When fans rushing the stage and tossing speakers, 6 people were arrested and police officers suffered minor injuries. All right, if I read one more where there's a riot, September 3rd is not the day to go to concerts. In 82, a 3-day US Festival was held in San Bernardino, California, featuring performances from Tom Petty, Fleetwood Mac, The Police, The Cars, Talking Heads, The Kinks, Pat Benatar, Jackson Browne, The Grateful Dead. Steve Wozniak was the co-founder and bankrolled the event. And this guy here, to this day, regrets that he could not go. My dad would not let me go. Damn it. You're a high schooler. I can't let you go. Come on, Dad. The only decision that really just, Dad, come on. I didn't get to go to the US Festival, man. That was my Woodstock. Anyway, in 2007, during a tour with Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance singer Gerard Way married mindless, self-indulgent bassist Lynn Z after a gig in Colorado. In 75, an all-star jam happened in an LA party for actor Peter Sellers' 50th birthday. The group called themselves Trading Faces, featuring Ronnie Wood, Bill Weinman, Keith Moon, Joe Cocker, and David Bowie. It's a hell of a band. In 83, the Eurythmics topped the singles charts with Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. All right. Anyway, in 2008, Slipknot eked out their first #1 album in America with All Hope Is Gone after a recount of album sales. The guys sold over 1,000 more copies of their record than rapper The Game did of his. And that's what happened today in music history. So no riot. So we're all right. So September 3rd is not so bad. Only 2 riots on the history of September 3rd. That's all right. That's all right. DJ Envy is a co-host for a show called The Breakfast. Oh, I know The Breakfast Club. Oh, he's one of them. Because it's the God, the Chameleon the God, or something like that, right? And then the girl left, right? Then isn't the girl now on her own, doing her own thing from The Breakfast Club? Am I following it right? Like, I don't watch them constantly. I'll run into an interview that they have on YouTube or something like that. So I'll catch them. But I write Chameleon the God, and then I forgot the girl's name. But I believe she left, and now she has her own gig. I might be wrong. Not sure. But maybe. But now I put it all there. I put it all together. Let's see. You're calling 6 touchdowns in a game. You start the second half down by what? Yes, one of the songs I have to play. I'm fishing 20 miles out is "Miss You" by the Stones. It's one of my lucky songs. Fish seem to bite in the middle of that song. Really? It's a great song. I've told you guys a story. I still remember buying, because I remember on one of those histories that the album "Miss You" from the Stones came out back in late 70s, and I remember 77 or 78 or whatever, or maybe 76, I'm not sure. And I remember being in Passaic, New Jersey with my cousins visiting for the summer, and I bought that album there. So yeah, great song. Great song, dude. Shout out to Barkey, whose birthday was yesterday. Oh, yeah. Alexander Barkov was yesterday. Nice. Lenny says, you are correct, sir. The girl's name is Angela Yee. That's it. And she left and is doing her own thing. There you go. I may be an old fart approaching 60, but I kind of keep up with shit, There's all kinds of crap inside my head. I keep up with it. I read, I see, so I keep up with that. And then once you put one and one together, you told me the DJ guy is part of the Breakfast Club. Then it jiggled the memory there. And oh, there we go. Now I know who you're talking about. So yeah. Let's see. What else? We have going on in by the way, obviously today off. Tyreek yesterday addressed the media talking about expecting a big year from Waddle, and I'm expecting a big year from this entire team. I'm not worried about the offense like others are, the offensive line, that is. Okay. We're still saying that they're finalizing a rework deal with Trent. But I'm expecting, obviously, Waddle. We talked about this. Tua's in his 3rd year of the offense. Tyreek's in his 3rd year of the offense. Waddle's in his 3rd year of the offense. A whole bunch of these people are coming into their 3rd year, some of them 2nd, like Achan. So you're going to have a comfort level at this point like we haven't seen. And the idea of Tua being on the same page with his receivers, well, he's going to be even more comfortable with his receivers. It's now a matter of, and they worked Jonnu Smith a lot in training camp. It's really Jonnu and obviously Jalen Wright. Those are kind of some of the new additions that you have that, okay, he's got to get the timing down with those guys, and he's had, the offseason to do that, so it shouldn't be a problem. And especially for a guy like him, that accuracy and anticipatory skills and all that, that's not an issue for him. So that adjustment will be will be easy. And for Jalen Wright, he's stepping into obviously a new offense, right? So he looked comfortable. Now in the preseason, they keep it vanilla. It'll be a little bit more complicated in the regular season. So hopefully he won't think as much and he'll be able to free flow like Achan did and was able to do in his first year. You know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing. I'm expecting this to be, on the defensive side, there'll be some transition because it's a new defensive coordinator, a new scheme, all of those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But on the offensive side, there's so much familiarity right now going on that we should only see improvement on the offense. And the one thing that we all got to hope for that they've had the last 2 years at the end has been injuries. And it's, a tired subject, but it's something that it's the obvious. You can't do anything about it. Injuries have been part of the game. You know what I'm saying? So, Big O, I was born in 78. My mother injected this passion for music no matter how old. She would explain to me the meanings of her favorite rock and roll, disco, soul. Good music transcends all time. I agree. My mother also was my influence for music. She didn't do any of that kind of stuff. I mean, my mother didn't even do homework with me. So, I mean, my mom and dad never sat down one day to do homework with me. So that's different. It's interesting because my wife sat down every day with my daughter, and I never had one parent sit down with me to do homework. So my mom wasn't, but she was big in music. So she listened to a lot of music. And so I thank her for that her love for music definitely influenced me because my dad was kind of almost anti-music. He didn't really listen to a ton of music. A little bit of Spanish, but and very little of it. None of it pop. It's usually like dance-oriented stuff, merengue, and stuff like that. And so that's the kind of stuff that he would listen to. But my mom was huge, and she's the reason she got me into music. Now, I took it to another level than her, obviously with concerts and wanting to, know the lyrics and who wrote the songs and who produced and all that kind of stuff. I was always kind of geeky in that sense for music. So I took it to another level. But your mom sounds pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to have a parent kind of tell you about the music and explain to you and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have that. But at least she bombarded me with music so much that gave me the love for music and the crazy passion that I have for music nowadays, or my entire life. Let's see. I just don't like the whole blame to okay, I don't know what that's all about. It's crazy to me how these national talking heads continue to put on narratives that Flores wanted Justin Herbert. Well, they don't know anything. He wanted Jordan Love is who he wanted. We broke that a few years back. Yes, it does suck with Chris Brooks on injury settlement. I totally agree. Was that the same US Festival? Yes, with Van Halen. Yes. That same US Festival. Stray Cats, missing persons, all that stuff. Yeah. You had your rock night, your pop night, and your alternative night. Yeah. Or days, that is. Into nights. Triumph was there. Great performance. Judas Priest, Motley Crue, Scorpions. It still hurts to this day. I'll never recover from that. Seriously. I will never recover from that. Ever. It kills me. And I watch it on YouTube all the time. I'll run in and I'll watch a whole set from a band at the US Festival. And now they've done a great job of cleaning it up and, making it 4K and stuff and improving it. So when you run into some of those recordings, they've done that for that and for Live Aid. The Live Aid concert would have been great to go to, but The US Festival one was the one that I wanted to go to so badly. So badly. That was one of the big failures in my life right there. That's one that I'll just it hurts, bro. It literally hurts. How crazy is that? It's the weirdest thing because I know how legendary that concert was and the bands that were there. Hell, I could have seen Oingo Boingo. It's a dead man's party. Who could ask for more? Everybody's coming. Leave your body at the door. What else do we have? Norvell admits he failed after FSU loses again. No, thanks, dude. Appreciate you being the Mr. Obvious there. That was bad. I can see my mother right now singing a Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Dusty Springfield out loud, not giving a shit, dance and disco, and I still get to do it with her. She's my number one true queen. There you go. Nice job by you, sir. Pat in Asheville says that Van Halen was at the second US Festival in '83. U2 also played in that one. Yes. Yep. Oh, U2 also played in the Live Aid. The bad version of Live Aid. That one is special. That's all I can tell you. That one is special. All right. What else do we have? Oh, what about the Knowles fan? Did you guys see that? The Knowles fan that they did chase him down and figure out who he is, but a Knowles fan put out there that he was going to eat crap if the Seminoles lost to Boston College. So fans on X tried to track down Florida State supporter who guaranteed that FSU would win on Monday against Boston College. The Seminole supporter with the username 321Knoll on X was so confident that he said he would eat dog poop out of a plastic cup with a spoon if the team lost. And the tweet said, if Florida State loses this to BC this weekend, I will eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and post a video of me doing it. So Boston College got crushed by FSU. The FSU fan ended up deleting all social media accounts, but that didn't stop people online from clowning him and asking him to follow through. And so they found his face, and wow, we found 321No, and he deleted his X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok accounts. Okay? So apparently they tweeted out his picture and all kinds of stuff. And you had people like Andy Staples saying, okay, 321No, I don't know where you are or if you're ever reactivating your account, but you have a standing invite to eat that dog poop out of a red Solo cup on me and Ari Wasserman's show. So everybody now wants to give him the stage where he can eat the shit somewhere because it's going to get a lot of views. So the article says the fan only has himself to blame after making such a disgustingly bold claim on social media. But if there's a secondary culprit behind his demise, it was FSU quarterback DJ Ukulele, because he definitely put on a shit performance. So, woo! That Florida State fan. I wonder if they'll track him down like TV will track him down. That would be funny. That would be really funny. My dad was the music nut in my family. My brother and I grew up with great music and high-end stereos. Oh, definitely. We had to have the quadraphonic sound, baby. Okay, got to have that quadraphonic sound, Pat. If you don't have quadraphonic sound, you're not cool enough in the neighborhood. Oh, you got a stereo? Yeah. Is it quadraphonic? Yeah. Oh, I got to go hear it. Let's go. It's not quadraphonic? That's bogus shit. I'm just telling you the way it goes. If you weren't quadraphonic, you weren't cool. Just saying. Big O, Idaho could be FSU right now. They took Oregon to the limits. Ocala Joe says, hey, I'm just a little late, but present and accounted for. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Let's see. Saw that tweet about the FSU football hexagon, pentagon, octagon, and seizagon with their logos. Same here. My parents were immigrants and had trouble with the language. My mom knew English. She learned English right away. She worked for a big American company, so she had to learn English. Still didn't help me with my homework. It's all cool. I'm still here, dude. I'm fine. I survived. You know, it's all good. I'm not the kid or the man that blames anything that wasn't perfect in his childhood, and that's why things didn't go well for me. I hate those people. You know what I mean? Give me a break. You make your own decisions, and shit happens, and you move on. Okay. Our first major purchase back then was a receiver, turntable, and speakers. That's right. Ragin says, actually, we did have a quadraphonic system. Well, then, Ragin, you, sir, are cool. If you didn't have quadraphonic sound, I'm sorry. I am not going to your house to listen to your stereo. Nope. Did you put them around? Did you surround us with them? Huh? It was so cool because sometimes when things were recorded in one side to another, or you could hear one instrument only on one side or the other, it was like this newest thing to you back in the day. It was so cool. And it was kind of like when you got your MTV and made it stereo. That was the next thing. You know? Like, what? Really? You could connect your TV to the stereo system? Got out your screwdriver and those little cables that had the hook in, and you had to screw it in there, and all of a sudden you had your MTV blasting through your stereo. After quadraphonic, that was the next stage of cool. Okay? I got my MTV, but I got it through my stereo. Oh, shit, really? Crank it up, dude. Big O, I remember the lead singer of Missing Persons. She was pretty hot back in the day. Dale Bozzio. Yes, sir. She was married to the drummer. And by the way, Terry Bozzio is one of the best drummers in the world. If you ever want to trip out, put on YouTube Terry Bozzio drumming. Just do that. And he has segments where he does, it's all music through drums. And he has a drum set that, I don't know, he's surrounded by like 60 drums or something. It's something ridiculous. But Terry's a hell of a drummer. Cucurello was a guitarist. Now, something a lot of people don't know, Terry wrote a lot of the music, most of all the music for Missing Persons. Dale had poems, and a lot of those songs were poems. And so then Terry wrote all the music. In fact, for the first album, he had most of the guitar stuff written. So when Cucurello joined, and Cucurello used to be part of Frank Zappa, and when Cucurello, the Missing Persons goes under the radar for the quality of musicians that were in there, in that band. And that's the part that goes like kind of under the radar. People never talk about their drummer and their guitarist, but both were exceptional musicians. You know, it's a shame that Terry and Dale had such a, you know, a bad relationship and the divorce and all that, and then they couldn't work together, and then, you know, nothing came of it. You know what I'm saying? But Missing Persons, man, that's one of those bands that doesn't get enough credit, you know, and their music was different, you know, it was definitely original, and it was different. So yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? You're on your own with that homework. Yeah, that's my dad owned a high-end stereo store in Fort Lauderdale in the early 70s. What was it, like was it a Kaufman and Roberts? I could come up with them all, man. It's all in here. It's all in here. Did he own it? Was it a Kaufman and Roberts back in the day? Big O, do you remember touring heavy metal festivals? The Monsters? Oh, man, I went to the Monsters of Rock. Was it 83, 84? Was it Van Halen, Scorpions, Metallica, Kingdom Come, Megadeth, I think it was also. Yeah, man, I remember that. That was freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that in a big time way. What else? 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 There was something else that I wanted to say about Missing Persons, and I forgot. Anybody remember putting paper spitballs in little slots of tapes in order to record them? Oh, yeah. And the little holes at the top. Yeah. Either that or you would put Scotch tape. That if you didn't put, like, you know, paper in there so the thing wouldn't work, you would put Scotch tape. Definitely. Of course. Big O, little music trivia. You talked about him the other day. What was the name of Stevie Ray Vaughan gave to? Oh, God. That's a good one. That's a good one. I forgot that. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Damn. You're going to have to tell me, unfortunately. Big O, have you heard of Bono's Sons Band Inhaler? Bono's Sons Band Inhaler. They're making noise. Kid sounds like his father from the 80s. Check them out. Okay. So Bono's Sons Band Inhaler. Okay. That's some shit right there. Let's see. What else do we have? The store was named Ratone, and they manufactured and sold speakers to Sears. I think it closed in 71. Okay. Trent Williams finally, yeah. They've been talking about finalizing the deal. It just hasn't been official yet. Big O and Sean, apologies for tuning in late. Hope you all had a great and safe Labor Day. Yes, sir. We worked yesterday. Big O, have there been any legendary voices whose children have also been great? Great following great. Wow. Wow. I don't know if I can think of some great following great. There's lots of average being followed by great, or great followed by average. Like, John Lennon is great. Julian Lennon was all right. What is it? Valorette or whatever was the name of that album. Wow. Now, Nat King Cole was great. I'm not putting Natalie Cole in the great category. Good, solid. I'm not putting her in the great category. Nat King Cole, that's, so I can't do that. That's not bad. The Hank Jr. one is pretty freaking good, Sam. I am. Nice one by you. Maybe on the countryside, we might have more luck than we will on rock or pop. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Hank and Hank Jr. might be the better one. Phillips' daughter and the Wilson Phillips. I don't know if first of all, I can't put Wilson Phillips in the great category. You know what I'm saying? Mom and the Papas were great. And they're legendary, and they're psychedelic, and they're part of a genre of music and all that. And John Phillips was, he wrote a lot of the music for the Mamas and the Papas. But I don't know. It's good. It's not great. It's not great. You know what I'm saying? Great is great, dude. Like, it's Miley Cyrus. Wow, that might be another pretty decent. Again, she's not great. She's good. I don't know if I would call Billy Cyrus great in his genre. In fact, neither one are great. No. Wait, let's not throw great around really loose here, folks. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We gotta, you're making the connections, but you're throwing great around really loose. So I can't go either way. Like, neither of the Cyruses are great at anything. Good, but not great. No, can't do that. Nancy Sinatra had one song. She's not great. Nice song. Great song. I love the song. These boots are made for walking. You know what I'm saying? But nothing about her was good or great. She just had one little hit there. And it's fantastic, but it doesn't make her great. Sissy Houston and Whitney Houston. How successful was Sissy? I have to plead ignorance there. Was she great in her genre? Because I don't remember anything pop-wise for Sissy Houston that I would call great. I can't answer gospel because I don't know anything about gospel music. I don't follow gospel. I don't listen to gospel music, so I wouldn't know what great is there. Now, Whitney Houston's great. I'm not exactly sure. See, Ziggy Marley is not great. Bob Marley is God. Bob Marley is above great. He's the pinnacle of his genre. Ziggy is, no, you know what? Nah, Ziggy's one. No. Maybe I can't say, I can't compare him to his dad. That's wrong. Yeah, he's actually great in his genre because he's won several awards. So that's wrong on my part. That you're right there, Pat in Asheville. You're right. Pat, Bob and Ziggy might be the greatest combination that you might have found. Because Ziggy has accomplished, I think he's won like 6 or 7 Grammys, something like that in his genre. Nobody's Bob. Nobody will ever be Bob. It's impossible for anybody to be Bob. It's impossible for anybody to be Bob in almost any genre of music. You have to be like Elvis-like. You have to be so cultish that it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Very few people have ever been in the stratosphere of Bob Marley, because Bob Marley is accepted by everybody in every walk, in every race, every color, every country. Everybody listens to Bob Marley music. So nobody will ever be Bob Marley. But Ziggy has done some amazing stuff in his own right. It's just that we're not necessarily, all of us, reggae experts. You know what I mean? But now that I think about it, he has won a lot of awards in his own right. So that might be the best combination you guys have come up with. The Sissy Houston stuff, I don't know enough about it. I have to plead ignorance there. I just don't know. Zappa and Moon, no, but I'll tell you what. Dweezil, forget Moon, Brett. I know you're joking and having fun, but Dweezil's a hell of a guitarist, dude. Okay? Now, again, he's not Frank Zappa, but I'm going to give Dweezil a little love, not at the Ziggy Marley level, because Ziggy literally has succeeded in selling albums in his genre and winning awards, several of them in his genre. So he has had serious success there, you know? Let's see. Julio Iglesias and Enrique. That's not bad, Gordon, because Enrique's had a lot of success. So that's pretty damn good. I think the Marleys and the Iglesias might be the best ones so far. So, Big O, did you hear about Fat Man? Yeah, I saw that he had a health issue on stage and they couldn't save him, and sad, man. Sad. George Gutierrez, Big O, been listening to you since the 90s. Miss Mad Dog, Neil Rogers, Hank used to have the Body Alive commercial on QAM with Roy. Yes, sir. Thank you, George. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting us for so long, man. Very nice of you. Thank you, Brett. Yes. Ray Grullon, Valley Girl. She is just a Valley girl, okay? Fine, for sure, for sure. I remember that track. I would say Bob Dylan's son. Oh, with One Headlight. With yes, dude. Yes. Wallflowers. Yes. And what is it? Fifth Avenue Heartache or something? I love that song, dude. Sixth Avenue Heartache or whatever. That's my favorite song of the Wallflowers. Oh man, that's a good song. It's a really good song. It's a good, but not great. You know? Not great. Nice job. You know what he reminds me of? It's John Lennon and Julian Lennon. That's Bob Dylan and I'm forgetting Dylan's son's name now, but either way, whatever. It's the same thing. Julian Lennon and that Dylan, same thing. One album, couple songs, and that's it. Great job. Love the album. I have both albums. I have Julian Lennon's debut album. I have the Wallflowers debut album. Love them both. They've got some songs on it. Cool, but not great. Not great. It's tough. Jacob. Thank you. Thank you, Bucky. Jacob Dylan. That's it. And you spelled it the way he spells it, too. Nice job. Nice job. Let's see. So, yeah, we really, in rock, there really isn't one, right? Van Halen and Wolfgang. Wolfgang's not great, you know? So it really doesn't exist in rock or in metal and in pop. It really doesn't exist. The sons or daughters may have a hit or something, but no. How screwed up is that? That you really don't find it that one musician was great and then they had an offspring that was also like both Hall of Fame worthy is what we're talking about. When we say great and great, they're both in the Hall of Fame. Nat King Cole can go to the Hall of Fame. His daughter will never be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? It's kind of that's the way it should be, you know? So it's it's tough. It's tough. I just did a Google image search of Dale Bosio in the present, and I'm going to say, oh yeah, well, but Mike, let's be honest now. Dale was never a good-looking girl. Go look at her young. She was sexy beyond belief. She had I have this theory about women, and I'm sure women have the theory about men, right? There are some women that aren't necessarily good looking, but they're attractive as hell. They're not beautiful, but they're attractive as hell. And if you look at Dale Bosio and you look at her, the way she dressed, her hair, all that kind of stuff, the look, it was smoking hot. But if you just put her face and nose and all that and you looked at her, she wasn't really a good-looking woman. But what she had was this sexiness about her that was through the roof, that it made up for the fact that she wasn't ugly. She wasn't ugly or anything, but she wasn't good looking or beautiful or anything like that. She was exotic. There's Flash Gordon. There's this woman in Flash Gordon that is Ming the Merciless's daughter, right? She's not really pretty if you look at her and the way she's made up and all that, but she's exotic. She's sexy, you know? And there are women like that, at least in my eyes, that sometimes they do a marvelous job of, sometimes they're a little thicker, sometimes they're not great looking, but they know how to fix themselves up in a way that they look magnificent and they look great. And Dale Bosio was that. Dale Bosio had a smoking body, and then she dressed so different because she made all her clothes out of plastics and all kinds of different shit. Because she would literally, most of the stuff that she was wearing, she created it herself. Blondie used to do a lot of that stuff early in her days too. You know, she used to create all her own clothing for stage. So to me, sometimes there are those women. So I would say that Dale Bosio wasn't ever going to age well. You know what I mean? But if she was able to maintain that body, it would make up for that. And that's what you overlook back in those days. You overlook the face because the whole look and the body was just absolutely smoking, you know? And I'm sure you guys over time can think of certain women that they're not necessarily great looking women, but man, they're good. They're attractive, you know, they're sexy, and you can do that. And that's pretty cool. Big O, speaking of songs, what song will you play when the Dolphins win the Super Bowl? I don't know, man. It's a great one. That's I don't know. Yeah, I mean the cheesy thing is to say we are the champions, right? I'm almost thinking of what's that song? Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face. You know, that's probably what I'm going to be thinking. Like, finally, it's happened. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I would play. I'll be rocking to something. I don't know what it is. I'll be crying, hugging whoever's next to me, high-fiving whoever's next to me. But it'll be an incredibly emotional moment. That's for damn sure. And yeah, I probably will cry. Probably will cry. There is such a thing as women with great curves and fits, but not as good looking. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. 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 Definitely. Let's see. First wife, name of the latter guitar, but the first guitar he named it Jimbo. I should have phrased it the first guitar. He also had another one named Lenny and number one. Okay. Ozzy and Kelly. Yeah, no. Steven and Liv. Yeah, but these aren't singers. Tina Turner, simply the best. Yep, but no offspring. And if you're an offspring of Tina Turner, just go into another genre. Don't even bother. You know what I'm saying? Just don't even bother. By the way, I saw a video over the weekend of Tina and Tom Jones performing together. No. Wait a minute. No, it was Tina and Cher on her show. Man, those legs. Holy shit, that woman had some legs. Tina Turner had looks, had a great body, had all that. But those legs, she might have had the best legs I have ever seen on a stage. Rojas says Dale Bosio is 69 years old now. Back in the day in the 80s, she had a hot body. She was super sexy, and her face was more than passable. Let's not get picky now. No, yeah, and she was all right. She wasn't but it was her look, the whole thing. She took it to, if she did not dress the way she dressed and all that, she would not be as attractive. Let's be honest. But Dale Bosio's look, the blonde hair with the streaky colors, the way she made her face, and then that just hourglass body, she had the whole package. So everything came together as one. So when you looked at it, it was so exotic, you know what I'm saying, that it was hot. It was hot. It was beyond hot. She didn't have to look like Halle Berry to be hot. That's the beauty of Dale Bosio. You know what I'm saying? But she was never going to be Jennifer Aniston. She just wasn't. That's not who she was. Face-wise, that's not who she was. She wasn't going to be Farrah Fawcett Majors, and, that's not what she was about. But she was about the whole thing. And then when you included the whole package, it was a 10 because of the whole package. That's what it is. But definitely, my God, anybody that told you she wasn't attractive, come on, man. Come on. Let's see. It's a great mile marker to see the Dolphins win the Super Bowl twice in my lifetime. Yeah, that would be very nice. Yeah. They already mentioned Hank Williams and Hank Williams Jr., and I would say that and the Marleys are the best ones that you guys have come up with. The closest to great and great. Yeah. But if you really look at it, we haven't come up with one that's really great and great. There are really no, although because Ziggy will never make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Never. Let's be honest, right? Hank Williams Jr., is he ever going to make it to, well, you know what? Can you check and see if Hank Williams Jr. is in the country, what is it? Is it Country Hall of Fame? What's it called? I forgot what the hell it's called. But see if he's in there because Senior obviously has to be there. That's, those are the ones right there. Those are the ones that you guys have come up with. That's about it. But it doesn't exist in rock. It doesn't exist in metal. They both have to be Hall of Famers, no doubt. And it doesn't exist. Just doesn't exist. It's crazy. And by the way, why when you're a son or daughter of one of those people, why even bother? You know, why even bother? Ocala Joe, thank you, sir. You're a stud. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you. Ocala Joe, Lourdes, thank you. Appreciate you guys, as always. He says, for showing up late. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You guys can always reach out to us there and support us. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Yes, sir.
You're talking Hank Williams Jr., right?
Yes, sir.
He was inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame on November 21st, 2021. He was just inducted in.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Hall of Fame. And that's why I told you guys that the Marley one and the Hank Williams Jr. one are the closest ones. Those are it. And I'm not sure. I don't follow country that heavily to know if it's Hall of Fame. So there you go. And I don't think we have a reggae Hall of Fame, right? But if we did, probably Ziggy would make it. You know? It's probably the case. So there you go. All right. Not rock and roll, but maybe. No, not maybe, bro. Miley Cyrus is in no Hall of Fame of nothing. She's a nice talent. She's done a nice job with her career. I like Miley personally. Okay. Wrecking Ball and all that stuff she does. Fine. She's not a Hall of Famer. She's not a Hall of Famer. You know, and I don't know if Billy Ray Cyrus in the Country Music Hall of Fame. I'm not even sure. I'm not smart enough to know, but I know this: she's not Hall of Fame. She's good. She's got nice talent, but no, not great and great. No, I'm not throwing it around that loosely. You know what I'm saying? And plus, again, I don't even know if Billy Ray's, a Country Music Hall of Famer. I'm not exactly sure. He might be. Let's see. Oh, seeing Inhaler in Charlotte Monday, October 14th. Tickets are only $45. Dolphins bye week. Nice. How about that great genre of reggaeton? Big O, what about Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Do we have a father and son combination? I don't think we have that either. I don't think we have a father and son or mother and daughter or mother and son combination Hall of Famers. That doesn't exist either. I mean, dude, if you're Snoop's kid, do you really want to follow Snoop? Seriously? Why? So they can laugh at you? You know, it just you don't follow Michael Jordan. You don't follow Snoop Dogg. Just don't do it, bro. Go into another profession. That's all. So there you go. What about the Judds? I don't know. What do the Judds have to do with anything? Are the Judds daughters of something? What are we doing? I don't know. You got to walk me through this.
It's a country music mother-daughter group, or was. Right. I don't know if they ever. I don't know if they made the Hall.
Yeah, I don't know if they made the Hall of Fame, and I don't think they did. But
and they were a group together. They didn't. She didn't follow the mother. They were together.
The idea is a Hall of Famer that had an offspring that became its own Hall of Famer. Okay, let's not go into sports, and let's not start inventing, because this is the problem when we do these things. You guys start to veer off and go into other directions, and you don't stay on the subject. The subject is that somebody brought up a Hall of Fame musician has a Hall of Fame offspring. That's it. And we've realized that outside of Hank Williams Jr. and Sr. and Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley, it really doesn't exist. Just doesn't exist. They're almost, and it certainly doesn't exist in rock and in metal, and it certainly doesn't exist in rap either. And no, A-Rod, Natalie Cole is not a Hall of Famer in anyone's book. Okay? She had a song that she remade from her dad. Yeah. She's not even close to a Hall of Fame. So I wouldn't put Natalie Cole there. Nat King Cole is a whole different ballgame. You know? Big O idea like to be in the Hall of Fame in this chat room for questions asked. Am I in? Sean? Anyone? You, sir, are a first ballot Hall of Famer, is what we say. Big O, should I start Jonnu Smith or Evan Ingram on my fantasy team? Oh, bro, Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith. Let me add something, okay? Hold on a second. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way for you, okay? I'm gonna do it with a little spice, a little spicy. Oh wait, no, let's not do it with that one. Let's do it with this one right here. That's what I want to show you. I want to show you. Okay. So you are playing the Jags this week. Well, I don't need to bring up the screen. But here's a guy that has already kind of played in that division, right, with Tennessee, right? Isn't Tennessee and the Jags? I'm correct, right? Isn't Tennessee and the Jags in the same division? Correct, right? I think they are, right? In the South? They're there, right? Correct? If I'm correct. So he's familiar. He's new to all of this. And he is going to be featured. So see, the Evan Ingram show has kind of been an up and down thing. And Jonnu Smith was just in the wrong, like Atlanta last year. He didn't have somebody that would actually throw him the football and get him involved, because they even drafted a tight end before that 2 years ago, and they still haven't gotten the kid involved. So I think that you're going to get a guy that is going to score a touchdown for you in the first week of the season. I definitely like Jonnu Smith over Evan Ingram for the first week. I think you're going to see him all over the place, catching screens and all kinds of stuff. So this guy played in that division. He's comfortable playing against that team. He's comfortable right now playing with Tua in this offense, because I watched it in practice all the time. It wasn't like he was running the wrong routes. Wasn't like he was dropping passes. He looked like it looked seamless to him what he was doing. I'm going Jonnu Smith. Liza Minnelli and Judy Garland. Okay. I mean, they're not, it's not singers, but I get what you're saying. Hall of Fame talent and Hall of Fame talent. That's good right there. That's good. Okay. But it's not what it's off topic. Not what we were talking about. So did a Hall of Fame musician produce a Hall of Fame musician as an offspring? That's kind of what we were talking about. Mind made up. Thanks. Was hoping for that answer. Good luck. More importantly, good luck to you, sir. All right, we thank Ira Winderman and Manny Navarro. David Ferronis will join us on Thursday. All right, we'll talk to him at 4:00. And we'll get he'll join us on Thursdays and on game day now. So we'll switch it up a little bit with David. Tomorrow we're back in studio, so we'll be here having some fun on the show at 10 a.m. like normal. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you that tuned in. Appreciate you as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, I don't know if I did I mention it? I think I did, right? Let me see. Hold on. Ocala Joe, thank you. And George Gutierrez also just came in on Cash App. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Remember, you can make a donation at any time, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. I saw something come in there, and I want to make sure I gave you the love for it. But even if you send it after hours, I usually give you the love the next day. So thank you as always. You can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Visit our merchandise shop as always. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.